Hey guys, welcome to the channel. This is Manish Malli here. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Munich, which is one of the biggest cities in Germany, located in the state of Bavaria. If you're new to this channel, check out this video where I take you through all the different cities I traveled in Europe in the months of May and June 2023. This video I'm going to be dividing into various chapters that cover different aspects of Munich like accommodation, internal transport, places to see and the overall cost. You can also head over to my Instagram page where I've put detailed highlights of Munich. The link is in the description below. So without further ado, let's get started. I had traveled to Munich in the second week of May for around 4 days from Thursday to Sunday. The summers hadn't fully kicked in, so for almost 3 days it was gloomy and rainy, and the temperatures were around 8 to 10 degrees in the mornings and evenings, and 15 to 18 degrees during the day. If you are like me who considers these temperatures as cold, then make sure that you carry a jacket with an umbrella and rainy shoes. I had traveled to Munich from Cologne, which is a city in the northwestern part of Germany. I had booked a direct Deutsche Bahn train that took me 6 hours to reach Munich. Since I already had an EU Rail pass, booking this ticket was quite easy. I'll be making a separate video about EU Rail pass and its cost, the pros and cons, and who is it suitable for. However, the EU Rail pass is not applicable for internal transport like the U-Bahns and a few S-Bahns in Germany. So for Munich, I had taken a day pass that costed me around 8 euros 80 cents. You can buy this ticket at any station in Munich. The ticket is valid from the time you validate the ticket until the next morning 6 a.m. So here are the images of the ticket in German and in English, and you can also find an official link in the description below. Out of the 3 nights I spent in Munich, I stayed 2 nights in a hostel near the Munich Hauptbahnhof, aka the railway station, named the Wombat City Hostel. I booked the hostel on the Hostel World website. Due to personal reasons, I had to book it at the last minute, which costed me around 70 euros for 2 nights. The hostel is at a 5 to 7 minute walking distance from the station and is one of my favorite hostels of Europe. The central light-filled courtyard is one of the best places to sit and work during the day and chill with your hostel mates at night. You can also get unlimited breakfast for around 6 euros from morning 7 am to around 10 to 10:30 am. The hostel also has a tiny kitchen, so you can cook your own food. The grocery store Lidl is around the corner as well. You can find pocket atlases of the city like these in the hostels for free that can help you plan your day quite well. You can also save the Google Maps link from the description below. It covers all the different destinations of Munich and can come in handy while you're roaming around. Now look at some of the famous destinations of Munich. A walking distance from the hostel are the main areas of Karlsplatz and the Marienplatz, where the famous Neues Rathaus, the Gothic town hall, and the churches of Frauenkirche and St. Peter's are located. You should set aside some time early in the morning and take a walk around the city, as the city gets crowded during the day and especially on the weekends. And here we are at my favorite place in Munich till now. I still have 2 more days the weekend to spend here, but I'm just gonna turn my frame and show you all the famous Frauenkirche. I really don't know if I'm saying it right, but here is the beautiful church. I went inside last evening and there were some prayers going on, and it's really beautiful from inside. But as you can see, it's morning 8 a.m. It's quite cold here, so nobody's out there, and it's a good time to visit the city. As I explored the city on foot, further to the north of the Marienplatz is the Max Joseph Platz, where the National Theatre is located. The beautiful Roman architectural building is the main venue for the Bavarian State Ballet and the State Orchestra. A few minutes of walking from this plaza takes us to the Odeonplatz, which is surrounded by the Theatine Church and the Hofgarden. On the western edge of the garden is the Bayerische Staatskanzlei, the Bayern State Chancellery designed by the architect Ludwig Mellinger, which served as the State Army Museum in the early 1900s. On the weekend, I met my friends Joanna and Philip and we went to the Motorshow in Freimann. It was amazing to see people of all ages and gender present at the show and appreciate the German motor industry. From expensive Bugattis to vintage cars, we got to see them all. After a quick pizza break, we were headed north to the famous BMW Museum. Bavarian Motor Works, as the name goes, the people of Munich are extremely proud of the company and what it has achieved over the years. The entry fee to the museum is 10 euros and it is totally worth it. The modern museum showcases the history of the company and displays cars and bikes from the last 150 years. Philip, who works at BMW, also showed us the 100-year anniversary motorbike that he worked on. A 5-minute walk from the museum is the 1972 Olympic Stadium, which is an architectural marvel. It is one of the first tensile structures that was experimented at a global scale. The structural system and the architectural style still serves as a great case study. As we reached quite late, we couldn't get an entry into the stadium and had to appreciate it from the outside. Currently, the stadium is being used for concerts and other major events in Munich. At the end of the stadium is a bridge where you can watch cars passing by on the autobahns. If you are like me, you will enjoy the sight for sure. The last place in Germany that has spent a considerable amount of time is the English Garden. Originally named as the Theodor's Park, it later got established as the English Garden as it is laid out in the natural style of an English landscape park. Bigger than the Central Park in New York, the English Garden is located besides the Isar River. We entered the southern side of the park by walking besides the river in the Maximilian Park. A famous spot in the garden is the Eisberg water channel, where you can find a group of surfers practicing in the high-speed waves. Another great spot is the Chinese Tower, where you can find locals dressed in Bavarian dresses playing a musical. The beer garden is a great place to have authentic Bavarian food and enjoy the Hofbräuhaus beer. I spent the last day of this trip in Rosenheim, which is a town which is approximately 70 kilometers south of Munich. My friends Joanna and Philip work there. Unlike Munich, Rosenheim is a quaint little town with beautiful streets and old buildings. As we went on a Sunday morning, the town was even more quiet. We had an authentic Bavarian breakfast and roamed around a few different spots in the city before heading back to Munich. As I was hosted by my friends, I saved quite a bit of money. However, I have approximately calculated what a trip to Munich would look like for a solo traveler for around 3 nights and 4 days. This does not include any travel cost needed to reach the city of Munich. The total cost comes to around 220 to 250 euros depending upon the mode of travel that you do. Now we move on to the last section, which I call Munich in a glimpse, a summary of sorts. So here is a list of all the places that I visited in Munich and the ones that I missed. And here are some of the key things that you should not miss in my opinion. The Neues Rathaus at the Marienplatz, the Frauenkirche from the inside, taking a walk at the Hofgarden and seeing the Bayern State Chancellery, a tour of the BMW Museum, marveling at the beauty of the 1972 Olympic Stadium, enjoying the Hofbräuhaus beer at the English Garden, day trips to Dachau and Neuschwanstein Castle, and Bayern's match at the Allianz Arena. And we reached the end part of the video. I had a lovely time in Munich. It was one of my first cities on my Europe trip and I just fell in love with the architecture and the in general cleanliness of the city. I hope you had a great time watching this video. If you like my content, subscribe to the channel. Thank you and see you again next time. Bye.